had this for the go. Okay. Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. For some reason, it's like echoing on my end, but if you can hear me, then awesome. So happy Friday. I'm really excited about the next edition of our masterclass, not only because I think that you guys are going to get some incredible tips, but mostly because I get to sit down with one of my best friends with Stella&Dot, Miss Tiffany Aguilerra. And I want you first to, let's kick off. I always love to do this, like introduce yourself, who you are, where you live, what your current life situation is, how long you've been doing Stella, and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, I'm Tiffany Aguilera. I'm from Midland, Texas. I am a wife and mom to two, and we have a third one on the way.
Wait, stand up. I want to see the baby bump.
Well, I'm cute from this up, but okay.
Okay, just a little bit. You don't have to show us.
Aww.
Oh my goodness.
That's better.
It's real fun. It's real fun to see you with the belly. I love it.
So I am exhausted all the time because I'm pregnant, and it's kind of changed my business since being pregnant, because I've been a stylist for 4 years, and I originally joined when my littles were 1 and 3. They're now 5 and 8, and I'm a director, so I have a team of over 300 women, which I'm so just honored to be able to lead them and just be a part of this amazing journey. But when I started, I had them. I've never been pregnant when I rocked this business, so I'm kind of having to like rework how I work things because I'm exhausted all the time. I'm not always on point, and I'm always out of breath. You know, I think that now my journey that is changing and how I'm having to like revamp how I work my business is kind of duplicatable, because I feel like the way that I'm working my business now is the way that the majority of our stylists work their business, you know, being on the go.
Yeah.
Not able to work it full time. So.
Yay. Well, Tiffany is pretty much a big deal in the Stella&Dot world because she is queen of sponsoring. She's queen of selling. She's queen of booking. And so I was just like, when I was thinking about what one topic we were going to focus on, the more her and I started chatting, and we talk pretty much every day on Marco Polo, I was like, gosh, I want her to talk about everything. So we're going to do top 10 tips with Tiffany. And how we're going to do it is we're going to kind of chunk them by like booking, selling, sponsoring. But within those, we're going to do like a couple of different things. So as you're listening, like jot down notes, and I am on Tiffany's team page. Tiffany's on my team page. So if you're watching the recording and you have a question, you can always go back and tag her in this post on our team page. Or like my girls like to say, comment down below. That's what my twins say all the time. Comment down below, and we'll make sure and answer your questions. Okay, so as a beginning, Tiffany, one of the things we were just talking about this past week is that you are so good at creating an online presence with Stella&Dot. I mean, your Instagram photos are on Mimi, like the one of, I just used the one of your foot with your leggings and your coffee cup, right? So like there are parts of your body that are famous with Stella&Dot. And so but because you're so great on social media, you have a really awesome VIP page. So and I know you've been kind of engaging with them lately. What are a few of your top tips when you're engaging specifically in your VIP page?
Well, you know, when it comes to social media, I try to share like my personal looks versus stock photos and other people's photos. I avoid, you know, copying and pasting a lot and try to just share myself, my personality. And so when it comes to social media, my goal is, and this can be overwhelming, but my goal is to post at least 1 to 3 times a day. Because I feel like when you're consistent, your people follow you and they're like, she is serious about this. You know, she's serious. She loves it. And when your energy and your excitement about whatever you're sharing shows, I feel like it soaks off onto them, so they start to be excited. And I feel like I always get this a lot from My friends are just like, you make me want everything because, you know, I'm so obsessed with it. And I'm like, it's so cute. You need this. This is why you need it. This is why I love it. This is how, you know, I style it or whatever. And then I also, you know, besides sharing the style and stuff like that, I try to share like real life and personal things that I'm doing throughout the day. I'm obsessed with coffee, so I'm always sharing a coffee photo. The majority of my pictures have a coffee cup in it. I have a coffee collection a coffee mug collection it's like an addiction. But I try to throw in real life scenarios there too. That way they're getting to know me and it's just not all sales, buy this, you know? And then now that I'm pregnant, I'm sharing belly pictures and sharing, you know, updates and stuff in my VIP group along with my personal page because in my VIP group, you know, I do interact with them and I try to keep the interaction up because there's this whole thing with social media and the algorithms with Facebook, and they're constantly changing them all the time. So the more that you have people like and comment on your stuff, the more that your post will pop up into other people's news feeds. So I'm constantly trying to think of things that I can share to get interactions on. So along with just having, you know, my look of the day or my obsession of the day, I share funny memes. I share, you know, just real life questions and stuff like that on there just to keep the interaction going and mix it up from Stella&Dot. So I'm trying to think of like one of the recent memes that I shared just to make them laugh and give them something, you know, to draw their eye to. I think one of them was like a girl sitting in Target with one of those signs that said, I'm a stay-at-home Target mom or something. I don't know. I'll have to share some funny memes that I share that I get a lot of reactions from. And then it's so funny because, you know, you can post a picture of a stock photo and get maybe like 2 likes, but then you can post a funny meme and get like 35 likes. So
right.
I'm trying to always mix it up on social media. And then if I'm going to talk about live videos.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So that all sounds fine and great. And I think we're all really comfortable sharing stock photos. But to be honest, like we don't always look fabulous every single day. And we don't always, you know, have our hair and makeup done. And going live freaks a lot of people out. So how do you get over your fear of doing that?
Okay, so I don't look fabulous every day either. Like, what was it? Wednesday, I shared like 3 images of what I was wearing, but I never did share my face because I never did put on makeup or fix my hair. So you can still share, you know, you can still share photos. Like I took a picture of my arm party and they just see my arm. So just a little side note, if you're not like getting dressed up and fancy every day, you can still kind of like take a picture without showing this. But for live videos, I do make sure I'm presentable and put together. I always make sure that, you know, my background is clear of everything. So like there's stuff in front of me that you can't see, but everything behind me, I try to always make sure is clear. And there's not a bunch of, I don't know, just a bunch of things going on behind me. But I also make sure that I'm sitting in front of a mirror. I'm sitting in front of a window to get natural light, because I feel like that's, I get a lot of questions when it does come to my videos and my photos. It's like, what kind of light do I use? And it's always just my window. I always just use natural light because I feel like that's the best light. So like it is convenient for me to sit at my desk over here, but the lighting sucks. So I moved everything over here in front of the window, you know, so you just get that natural light. If you don't have a great window, I mean, there are some great selfie lights that you can get as well to make the lighting, you know, good. But,
yeah. But the cheapest is just the sunlight.
Mm-hmm. And it's not even sunny here. It is gloomy and rainy.
Sometimes that's the best lighting though, because like it's really sunny here and I feel like I look a little bit like a ghost because there's so much light. So you kind of have to like play with the light a little bit. But okay. So it's all fine and great. You have a great online presence. You have good VIP. You take great pictures. You do live videos. But how do you take those people that like and those people that comment and then turn them into customers or bookings?
So I feel like that's something really important to touch on, because so many times people think I just post and I just get sales, which you can't ever post and pray. You have to do the follow-up. You have to do those personal touches by posting and doing live videos and sharing. I'm just trying to build, my awareness, build my business, build the awareness, build my network. And then anybody that likes or comments, I reach out to them personally. And it just depends on, who they are and what they said, or even if they didn't say anything. Like, for instance, I did a live video for the first time in a long time the other day on my VIP page, and I noticed a girl she liked, and I think she said hello, and that was it. And I noticed I haven't touched base with her in a really long time, and so I just sent her a quick message and was just like, "Hey, how are you? It's been so long," and just kind of opened up the conversation there, and asked her how things were, and I remembered it was probably like over a year ago that she moved into a new place, and I was just like, "How's the new place?" And then it just kind of started a conversation, and then we worked up into Stella&Dot, and she started talking about how she loves some pieces, and I was just like, we still need to do a girls' night, something casual and super fun. And from that conversation, I booked a trunk show for October. So I feel like just personally reaching out to them and connecting it doesn't always have to be like, "Hey, you commented on this piece. Want to book a trunk show?"
Yeah. But like a natural, building connections with people. Mm-hmm. And that kind of leads into our next thing, which is, so do you think you would be as successful if you did not reach out to people personally and you just kind of posted and prayed? Because I think you're right. I think that is the perception by a lot of people. Oh, Tiffany has a lot of bookings because she posts a lot of cute pictures. So people just must be flooding her inbox and begging her to book trunk shows. Mm-mm. That's true, right?
No, I wish it was.
But you use this to continually, so let's kind of move into talking about booking. You use this to kind of continually fill your pipeline. Mm-hmm. In fact, I know for a fact you have 4 booked for October? Mm-hmm. 4 booked for October, in-home style sessions.
Yes.
So what is your system for booking? How are you doing it? Are you like a sit down, knock it all out in one, minute? Do you have a system? Can you just take me into the Tiffany Aguilerra brain for a second, please? I mean, it's a scary place to be.
I don't know if you want to be in my brain. It's kind of all over the place. So I love to try different systems and try different things, because I'm the type of person that, a system where I sit down for 30 minutes and reach out to 50 people in one sitting works for me one day. And then the next day I'm like, I don't want to sit down for an hour and reach out to 50 people. Or maybe I don't have an hour to sit down and reach out to 50 people. Maybe I just want to reach out to 5 people. So I change it up all the time. I just feel like that's life in general. We're not always, sometimes we like routine, sometimes we don't. But I personally have a notebook that I write down every single person's name, and whether it's for booking or sponsoring, I, will reach out to them and write down their name, and then kind of keep track of it here on paper. That way, this is for January, then you flip the page and have February, and that way I can come back and flip through these papers and see, see who I need to follow up with, because I forget. We all forget, right? We reach out to a million people and we forget that so-and-so said maybe. Yeah. So I love to keep it in my notebook there. And then, this month recently, I haven't had a chance to sit down and reach out to 50 people in 30 minutes or an hour. So I've been kind of working it here and there every day. And, I'll sit down and reach out to 10 people. And then tomorrow I'll sit down and reach out to 10 more people. And I just always have, my personal goal is to continue to reach out to people until I hit my goal. So if I want to book 2 trunk shows, my idea is to reach out to 20 people. But if those 20 people tell me no, I'm going to keep going until I get that yes. it was funny. You said the other day, Kelly, that I kind of have like tunnel vision when I have like,
oh my gosh, y'all have no idea. When this girl like turns it on to a goal, like she decides she's close, there's like no stopping. I remember a couple of months ago, you literally were in your office for like 24 hours straight. You're like, I haven't left this place. Well, you were going for some kind of goal. I don't remember what it was, but you nailed it. And I was just like, you are hyper focused. So tell me about that. Walk me through that.
So I feel like, so many times we'll have a goal in front of us and we could reach out to like 10 people and get 10 no's and then get discouraged and quit. When my mentality is like, I got 10 no's, I can quit, but what if the next one's yes? And this was when I was reaching for my goal. I was like, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to give up. And oh my gosh, I got so much rejection, you guys. I wanted to, like, every time I was about to give up, the next person I reached out to either told me yes. I think I was actually just trying to reach out for outside sales because it was the last month before the Hoopla year ended. So I was going for a sales goal. And so I was, I'd reach out to 10 people and get either, responses or no's. And then I'd sit there and be like, oh, I want to quit. I'm going to keep going. And then I'd reach out to the next person. They're like, yeah, actually, I do want that back. And I'm like, oh my God, what if I would have just quit and I would have missed out on this 11th person that told me yes. So I always think about that when I'm like going for a goal or just reaching out to book trunk shows. I'm like, don't give up because the next person could be a yes. And I always say, go for the no. It takes 10 no's to get a yes, or sometimes it takes 20 no's to get a yes. So I just consistently reach out until I can check that box.
So what I'm hearing you say is that you're really no different than anybody else. You're just doing some things consistently. But I also hear, I think there's sometimes a perception that like a power hitter like you is a robot and never gets discouraged by people telling her no, and never gets, frustrated. But that's not the case. Mm-hmm. I know you get frustrated because we'll talk about it. And so, but the deal is like, it's okay to pause for a second and like take a deep breath and be like, okay. But again, you're like the second or third masterclass person that we have chatted about this with, that the difference is that one, you don't quit. And then two, you have a tribe of people that you've surrounded yourself with that you reach out to and you're like, this sucks, I can't pick a trunk show. And then you have people that say, okay, well, take a breath, go get a Starbucks, and then put your big girl panties on and start doing it again. And that makes such a big difference. Would you say that that's made a big difference in your leadership journey?
Yeah. Well, I remember a few months ago when I reached out to you and I had a whole week of I can't book any trunk shows. I can't make any sales. I'm not going to hit my goal. This is going to be an awful month. And you're like, no, it's not. And you were like, you're reaching out for help. You're not reaching out to people that are going to be like, you're right, you should just give up. This is not your month. You reached out to people that actually you knew were going to lift you up and knew that were going to be like, well, maybe you should try this. Maybe you should do this. Maybe you should take a break. Just chill out for a day. You don't have to work every single day. Try again tomorrow. And I feel like that's what really helped me when I went through,
and you booked 4 October trunk shows.
Yeah, it's just part of the business. It's like a roller coaster. We go through the moments where we're just like, I don't feel like doing it today. I want to watch Netflix. I don't want to talk to anybody. And then we go through seasons where, a day where we're like, I'm going to book 4 trunk shows. I'm going to rock this. So, it's human. We're human. We all go through it. But I think that the key is being consistent and not giving up and keeping your eye on the prize.
Okay, so you're reaching out to book. Now, I know that you do a lot of online trunk shows because you're the queen. You've created the online trunk show thing. You're the girl. How do you determine who you're going to do an online trunk show with versus in person? And can you tell me, how does that work?
So the funny thing is when I started this business 4 years ago, I started through an online trunk show. So online trunk shows have always been a part of my business. My first 2 trunk shows as a stylist were actually online shows. They weren't great. And they're not always great. I just, the one thing that I love about online shows, it's a great way for you to be able to, you know, add into your in-home shows. It's a great way to be able to add in, especially if you're not able to get out of the house, if you have little ones. That's personally my thing, is trying to get out. I'm not always able to because my husband works and you know, all that stuff. But I personally love them because they're easy to make new contacts. Even if they don't shop with you, anybody that comes and joins the online trunk show, whether it's in a group or an event, I friend request. That way I'm meeting, you know, I have this whole circle of new contacts that I do. I'm trying to remember.
And do you add them to your VIP page too?
I don't, because I don't want them to be like, oh, she just sent me a friend request so she can add me to her group.
So you just friend request.
Yeah. But in my online show, I do make a post and say, if you want to like stay in the know and, you know, keep seeing the style and get in on exclusive deals and steals and giveaways, join my VIP group. Here's the link. And, you know, every now and then I'll have like 1 or 2 people join. But I always send the friend request because I am still sharing a little bit of style on my personal page. So they'll see that there.
And do you do groups or events?
I do both. It just depends on the hostess. I typically don't ask, like, do you want to do a group or event? But sometimes you'll have that hostess that's like, are you going to create an event? And I'm like, okay, I'm just taking that as a sign that she wants an event over a group. If they don't say anything at all, I'm like, I'm going to create a group, invite 40 to 80 people. Don't invite more than 100 because, you know, your friends will see that you're just inviting your entire friends list and they'll be less likely to join or click, you know, attending. So invite at least 40, no more than 100. And, you know, I feel like that you'll have success in both, either group or event. They're kind of the same.
Speaking of success, tell me what you think is the like top determining factor of whether or not an online trunk show is good or not. Because I don't feel like I just haven't mastered it like you have. Like, can you tell going into it, like, this is going to be a great show or this is not going to be a great show? Like, what do you think are those, you know, characteristics of a solid online trunk show?
I feel like it's all about the hostess. You know, if your hostess is excited, I mean, we always say, make sure she likes, comments, and tags everybody. But I feel like she also has to engage with them outside of just commenting and posting and tagging them, just like we do with our personal reach outs. Like, we have to personally touch base with them. We can't just post and pray. So it does boil down to kind of the hostess, but it also boils down to you. Like, are you doing those personal reach outs too? The past couple of online shows that I've done, I found a lot of success this way. Is I send them a friend request, so they'll get my Facebook message, and I send them a quick message saying, like, thanks so much for joining Amy's online style session. It's been so much fun sharing the style with you. I'm creating a few wish lists for some of the girls and would love to, you know, send one your way. Are you loving more silver or gold? You know, I always ask a question. Do you love silver or gold more? Do you wear delicates or statements more? And then if they respond, then I kind of handpick a few items and send them either a shopping cart, or I ask them for their email address and I create a contact, make them a shopping cart, and send it their way, if that makes sense.
Ooh, I love that. So you're doing this before the trunk show or after the trunk show?
During the trunk show.
Okay, so like, yeah, like a week before, during the trunk show, you'll just like each day pick a couple of people and just kind of like knock them out, like, you know. And these are ones that have been engaged, or everyone that has accepted your friend request?
Everyone. So if it's an event, I go through and see who has responded yes or maybe. And if they've responded yes or maybe, I send them the message and I just copy and paste it. And then, you know, not everybody responds. Like maybe 2 out of 10, 15 will respond. And then if it's a group, if in a group, I don't know if y'all know this, but if you have under like 200 or 250 people, you can see who sees your post. And so I click on that and you can get the list of people that are seeing your post. And those are the people in the group that I friend request. Because if she adds like 80 people to the group, I'm not friend requesting 80 people.
Right.
I'm only going to friend request those that are actually seeing the post.
And so this is what I'm hearing about online trunk shows, because I mean, I'll be honest with you, sometimes they are a lot of work. All of this time. Now, it is work that you can do from home. You do not have to be out and about. But like I kind of feel like with mine, if the hostess is not active on Facebook, and I've never post on Facebook, their Facebook trunk show is not going to be very good because people aren't going to see anything. So it's got to be somebody that like has a somewhat of an active. Yeah, right? Don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And when I'm asking people to host online trunk shows, I'm looking at their Facebook to see if they actually are active, and if they're not, I'm like, maybe that's not a great idea because they don't really have.
Because then you're just wasting your time.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you're gonna have those online trunk. Like I'll have like 3 sucky ones and then 1 great one. So I just like with reaching out, I don't give up on the online shows because you could do 3 really awful ones and then the 4th one could be $1,000. So, I mean, they're really just like hit or miss.
Right. Well, and that's kind of the case with me too. What happened?
I think you froze.
What'd you say?
You froze. Your screen froze.
Oh.
Take a picture of this. Funny face.
I thought you said I was gross. Again? What is happening? Am I frozen?
Not anymore.
Y'all are rude.
Picture.
Okay, you have to send me the picture. Y'all are rude.
You're making a funny face.
Rude. Okay. Okay, so if y'all have questions about sponsoring, about booking and online trunk shows, just, chat in or comment below. But we're going to move on to sponsoring because we're already at 30 minutes. I mean, this chat was going to go long because she's amazing. So, okay, sponsoring. You're a rock star at sponsoring, and you sponsored. I mean, weren't you top in sponsoring at Hoopla?
Mm-hmm.
Top 10?
Oh, yeah, that was on the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, no big deal. Just top 10 in all of, Stella&Dot in the U.S. And Canada, U.S. and Canada, and sponsoring. So how do you make sponsoring a part of your, everyday practices? How are you making sure, I heard Jenny Eisinger on my team heard Jessica Herron say once that, building a strong business is like walking left, right, left, right, left, right all the time. And that if you're always walking with your right foot, you're just going to go in circles. So let's just say right is selling and left is sponsoring. And if you're always selling, you're just going to walk in circles. Like you're like the duck that swims with one leg and goes in circles. And then if you're always sponsoring, you're just going in the other direction. So your business really has to be like a left, right, left, right, left, right. Have you ever heard that before?
No, I haven't. I love that.
You're welcome. I just taught you something today. Actually, I did not. Jessica Herron did. But via Jenny Eisinger. So my question to you is, you're just naturally doing that because you didn't even hear that. So you just naturally do that. How do you make sponsoring part of your everyday work environment?
I really like it. So it's the same thing with booking trunk shows. Like I'll go through seasons. It's kind of like a checklist for me. Like, okay, I've got my trunk shows booked. I've got my sales down. Now I need a sponsor. Have I talked about it this month? Who did I talk about it with? If I haven't, who do I need to talk about it with? And I track it the same way I track bookings. I have a notebook of people that I'm constantly sharing the opportunity with. My number one people are always hostesses and anybody that has spent 150 or more with me, like lifetime sales, not all at just one time, but like if they've spent 150 with you or more, obviously they love Stella&Dot. So, just sharing it casually and not like overthinking it is kind of like my thing that I love to do. So, I always set a goal as well. Like I want to sponsor 1 or 2 new this month. So how many do I need to reach out to? Well, I need to reach out to like 20 or 40. And I just, go through who I've reached out in the past, who I need to follow up with. And then I try to reach out to new as well. But I'm always, asking my hostesses and my top sellers. And I know that's scary to ask your top sellers because you don't want to lose those. But some of them have turned into like really great stylists. And in the long run, when you do sponsor and bring on people, you'll make more income. But just kind of always having that on my radar of reaching out to people and just keeping it simple. Like, oh my God, have you ever thought about this? I know this is totally random, but you would love it. And I always say totally, and I need to take that out of my vocabulary.
I was going to ask you, like, tell me what you're saying. Like, what are you, and you are queen of, like, you don't like word vomit. You keep things really simple. You have like 2 or 3 sentences. It's not even, because a part of you is like, they may not say yes immediately. You're just, again, just like you're with booking, you're trying to just open the conversation. So,
yeah. So I don't send, I think you froze again, but I don't send links or videos. I just feel like that's so overwhelming and it can look kind of copy and pasty. So I try to avoid that. But I don't cherry pick either.
You don't have to think of like, I got to cram everything into my very first conversation with them.
Yeah. I don't know if that was a delay.
That was a delay, and I was trying to take a picture of what your face looked like so I could take a picture of you. So I'm obviously not in my own home, and their internet is horrible here. So anyways, so you try not to copy and paste. You are sending short messages. Am I frozen again?
No.
God, y'all just laugh at me all the time, and now I think I'm frozen, and I'm like super self-conscious. Okay, so you keep it simple. You are reaching out often, but there have been times, like for instance, with the start of the Maven program. So I know you consistently are reaching out to people to book. So like hostesses, top spenders. I've even before reached out to birthday customers. Like, what a fun birthday treat! Let's like start a new business. But there are times when Stella&Dot comes out with a really incredible sign-up special, or you just got into the Maven program and you're like, holy cow, I need to grow my team. Or you are just like, really, you're feeling very inspired. And so again, Tiffany Aguilerra, tunnel vision, you will go into this tunnel and again, be completely focused. So talk to me about like, how that works for you and what your results have been when you've been hyper focused on sponsoring.
Oh, okay. So the first month of the Maven program, and if you're not familiar with it, it's like this intense training program that only 26 stylists out of the entire company, even in the UK, got handpicked to be in for 6 months, I believe, with Danielle Redner. And you have goals that you have to hit, or you don't get your bonuses. I was going to say kicked out, but you're not kicked out. You're still in it.
Voted off the island.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
You get voted off the island.
She froze again. So
am I frozen?
Yes, you're frozen. I think the first or second month of the Maven program, we have to sponsor 2 people. You're not frozen anymore. And I sponsored one, and I was like, okay, I need to sponsor one more person. Y'all, I reached out to 200 people. I've never reached out to 200 people in my entire career with Stella&Dot, you can say. But I reached out to 200 people, and I was like, I have to and I've always been this way. Like, I'm just going to share it with everybody and let them decide if it's for them. If it's not, no big deal. It's just, it's a gift that we have to share with everybody. Because, I mean, if you think about it, the way that it's changed your life, the income that it's brought into your family, whatever, I feel like it's just something we have to share, and it's just so amazing. So I don't prejudge. I just ask everybody. But that month that I reached out to 200 people, I literally logged into my account and went through all of my contacts. And from whether they've spent $19 on sparkle studs or $1,000 with me over the past year, I reached out to all of them and was just, keeping it simple. Like, this may be totally random. I know you've only shopped with me once, but I realized I never shared the opportunity with you, and I thought you would love it. If you're open to it, I would love to share more. It's so fun and flexible, and the income opportunity is amazing. Done. And, I got a ton of crickets. I got a ton of rejection. And
you also sponsored how many?
And that month I sponsored one person.
Okay. So, but what do you think it did in the long run? Because
so out of the 200, I had 18 kind of open to the idea. So in my notebook, I marked on them open to the idea. Now, not all of them have joined. I went on, so that was May. May I sponsored one, June I sponsored one, July I sponsored one, and then last month I sponsored 4. So it's another thing. You just don't give up, and you try to be consistent, and you follow up with those that, kind of give you a little interest in what you're talking about, and don't completely close the door. And then some of them, I've been reaching out to and talking about the opportunity for even over a year. So it's just all about the timing and their lifestyle, but never closing that door on them and just constantly coming back to them. Like if you talked to them last month, maybe don't reach out this month, but maybe reach out the following month.
And it may not mean that they all sign up right away, because listen, you don't want to actually bring on 200 people in 1 month. That is a lot of people to try. If you did,
that would be awesome.
Hello. That would be awesome, but how are you going to train all those people, right? So and I also love the fact that did you or did you not, true or false, did you or did you not reach out to somebody's grandmother, or was it somebody's mother?
I forgot about that. So as I'm reaching out to these 200 people, I'm reaching out to all my contacts. I'm not prejudging. I'm not even looking at what they purchased, when they purchased. If they purchased in 2014, I'm reaching out to them. Well, I reached out to this lady, Annette, and she was like, no, thanks, I'm not interested. Real cold. And I was like, okay, well, I hope you love your Stella&Dot. Just wanted to share it. And she's like, thanks, I appreciate it. But then the next day, my stylist, a girl on my first line, her name is Bree, she lives here in Midland, she texted me and she said, why are you trying to recruit my mom? I tried to recruit your mom, and she was like, yes, Annette. And I was like, oh my God, hey, at least she knows that the opportunity is there and that we've shared it with her. And she just started laughing. And then get this, our meetup in July, she brought her mom.
Shut up.
And I was like, you should be a stylist.
You're like, I'm just trying to help you sponsor.
Yeah. I was like, hey, at least you know it's there, Annette, okay? So when you're ready, we're here. But, I mean, I was reaching out to every single person. I reached out to my stylist's mom. So.
Yeah, I love it. That was one of my favorite stories ever. When I got that text from you, I was like, stop it right now. That's amazing. But it's proof that you were prejudging. You were just talking to people. And also, it's proof, because I feel like we really love immediate gratification. And it was really great if everybody we reach out to just all of a sudden today said yes to trunk shows and the stylist opportunity. But the truth is that's not how it's going to happen. And sometimes it takes several months. Like you sponsored one, you sponsored one, boom, you sponsored 4. So, you're right. You never know. And layering your income is one of the smartest things you can do in this business. And Tiffany, why do you have such a heart for sponsoring? Like, why do you love sponsoring? For you, is it all about the money? Because I feel like it's probably not all about the money.
No, Stella&Dot's never really been about the money for me. I joined for the jewelry. I mean, now I'm making an income and helping with the bills, but I love sponsoring because it's so much more fun when I have, you know, people around me that are doing this with me, and I'm able to, you know, share my experiences with them and then see them succeed. It just, I don't know, it just fills my cup. And like Sunny, we didn't know each other before Stella&Dot, and we just had lunch together yesterday, and I just, you know, we've become really close friends. And so just that alone keeps me like wanting to do this, because I'm like, it's just, I mean, once you've sponsored, you know that feeling,
yeah,
of like helping them start a business and seeing them succeed and seeing their excitement. It's just, I want to share that with everybody.
So that's why it doesn't, to you, like, I don't think I've ever heard you say like, oh, this feels weird. I feel weird reaching out to this many people. You're like, dude, why would you not want to do this? It's so much fun. It's accessories, and it's a business in a box. Like, what's the big deal? So I think you're really great at not letting yourself get in your own head too much about questioning. Like, I feel like you're more prone to get, you know, frustrated about booking than for some reason you are about sponsoring. You're just so confident in sharing the sponsoring opportunity.
I mean, I can get into my head about it and be like, this does feel weird, but I'm like, what if they say yes? That's always what I'm thinking. Like, what if they say yes? I'm just going to do it, lay it out there. You know, and then another example, I had a girl, she joined, I can't remember when she joined, maybe in February, but for months, she told me no. She told me no. She was still kind of interested, but told me no. And so I just kept, you know, every time we would have like a special, or anytime I would just be like in that tunnel focus thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to reach out to her one more time and be like, I know you told me no, but I'm just going to share it one more time. I know you told me no, but I'm going to share it one more time. And then like the fourth or sixth or 100, I don't know how many times I shared it with her, but she eventually joined, because it was just all about the timing of when she was ready and, you know, how her life was.
And I always love telling people too, like, I mean, depending on the person and my relationship with them, but I'm like, okay, listen, until you tell me like, hell no, leave me alone. You're on my dream team. I mean, you're a girl on my dream team list. And so I'm going to continue to reach out to you. And if I'm annoying you, just tell me. But I'm doing it because I genuinely think that. And I kind of feel like when you say that, but then you stop reaching out, then it becomes weird. But if you're consistently doing it, then you're showing them, I actually really want you. And I mean, I encourage my team, like, make a dream team list. And those girls that you have a really honest conversation with, and you're like, you would be fantastic at this. I know you would. And so that is why. And so you're really great at doing that.
Well, thanks.
Well, thank you, Tiffany. It's almost been 45 minutes. It's been 47 minutes. And you're awesome, and I love you, and there's a reason why you're such a boss babe and always doing all the things, and we're stealing all your Instagram pictures of yourself, but you've inspired me to be more Instagram worthy and to go live.
Worthy. Look, you inspired me to wear this today.
I love that top. It's so cute on you.
Thanks.
It's a comfy top.
Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you for being a part of the masterclass, because you are Master Tiffany. I don't know what this means, but that's what you are. So I was thinking like karate master, but then it didn't quite. We're good. Never mind.
Robot, but okay.
Whatever, robot. Karate robot. Okay. If y'all have questions, ask Tiffany. You can comment on our team pages, and I know that she'd be more than happy to, but for the sake of the recording being so long, we're going to take our questions to team pages. That sound good? Okay. Bye, y'all. Thanks, Tiff.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.